What up, everyone? Pat Mayo here with your 2020 Week 8 DraftKings Picks for tournaments. You want to find the cheat sheet? It is up on dkplaybook.com. Don't be scared to smash the like button to the video, by the way. You want the full injury report and DraftKings show? If you're watching this on YouTube, head over to YouTube, Mayo Media Network. Full shows of the Pat Mayo Experience are up there right now. All my rankings for each position up on dkplaybook.com right now as well, fully updated to the moment. Let's talk about tournaments and let's talk about running backs to kick things off. If you're looking at ownership, you're going to see a lot of people building with Alvin Kamara and Derrick Henry to start the week. I actually like going down a little bit more. Kareem Hunt is going to be pretty chalky, as is Josh Jacobs. I still like both those guys anyway. I also like Jonathan Taylor at $6,600 in a very nice game script, potentially against the Lions. We're also dealing with a situation where Ryan Kelly, the center for the Colts, might be out in this game, and that might push people off of Taylor, but I do like this situation a lot. The Lions give up the sixth most points to running backs in terms of touchdown rate per carry of any team in football. Then if you actually want to save some money, you got Jamal Williams, you got Gio Bernard with Aaron Jones and Joe Mixon both out of the lineup this week. Both are decent plays, but I really like Myles Gaskin down at $5,200. No one really knows what to make of the Tua situation. I would be lying if I told you exactly I know what's going to happen, but it does appear like Myles Gaskin's role in this offense is going to remain relatively unchanged. He is a cheap price, a pay down price if you want it, and he's not going to be very popular in the slightest. And it does still appear like it's going to be his backfield. And the best part about him, so far this season, he's been game script agnostic. So if they're winning, he's on the field getting carries. If they're losing, he's on the field catching passes. That is what you want from your $5,200 running back on DraftKings in Week 8. If we go down to receiver and we go to the very top, the highest owned guy is right there with Davante Adams. Great situation. Easiest matchup of the week, but he's $8,800. Tough to squeeze into your roster. I prefer DK Metcalf at $7,500. I prefer him over Tyler Lockett, even at a cheaper price. And you get the bonus that he's going to come in with 1/3 the ownership of Tyler Lockett after Lockett had a good week last week and Metcalf had a bad week last week. Then you just play against perception here. Metcalf is in a much better situation to take advantage of the San Francisco secondary. They are bad against the deep ball, and 46% of the routes run by DK Metcalf in the Seattle offense are deep routes of more than 15 yards down the field. It was a bit of an aberration last week. Do not be scared to go back to DK Metcalf. After that, in the 6,000s, I like A.J. Brown against Cincinnati. I actually really like the Titans passing game this week, and Keenan Allen is just too cheap at $6,200. He's basically 90% Davante Adams. If he could score some touchdowns, that would be nice for him. But he's $6,200. You're getting such a discount on that price. I love it. $5,600. I like T. Higgins in that game again. Like if you want to play A.J. Brown on one side, bring it back with T. Higgins instead of Gio Bernard. That is a situation I can fully get behind. I like him the most of the Bengals receivers. Other than that, wide receiver is a position this week that you could potentially punt. With no Deebo Samuel for the San Francisco 49ers, Kendrick Bourne is only $3,500. A decent play, but I even like going lower than that. Potentially no Crowder, probably no Crowder for the Jets. There's no Rashad Perriman. He's already out. Denzel Mims was used in a large percentage of the market share last week against the Bills, against the Chiefs. He's $3,200. They're almost 20-point underdogs in this game. They're going to be throwing. Mims has the potential to just put up a lot of garbage time numbers here. And at $3,200, that is your salary savings to go get whoever else that you want this week on DraftKings. At tight end, I got three guys that I'm going to be centering my teams around. One is Darren Waller at $5,600. Still a very good price in this matchup. So I like Waller a lot at Cleveland. Jonnu Smith as a part of that Titans stack, $4,100. Coming off the bad week, he's fully healthy again. He should be much better. And Harrison Bryant with Austin Hooper sitting again for the second consecutive week, $3,200 if you need to save that salary. If you really want to go low, no Edelman, no N'Keal Harry, which means Jacoby Myers and Damiere Byrd. Ryan Izzo, not a great play, but he's the min at $2,500. If he can just fall into the end zone somehow against the Bills, he will more than pay off his price. And if you really want to punt the position and hope to get lucky with a guy who should command like a 25% market share on a team that barely throws, mind you, but if he's used in the red zone, Cam can get it back together a little bit. He does give you access to the Devontae Adams of the world or the Alvin Kamaras and Derrick Henrys and multiples of those guys if you really want to go with it. At quarterback, when we're talking stacks, I talked about Ryan Tannehill along with A.J. Brown and Jonnu Smith. Bring it back with Higgins or Bernard is probably my favorite stack of the week. We'll have to pay attention to weather in that game, though. There are 5 games right now with expected frigid conditions and very high winds, but we're still far out enough from game day to really not make an accurate assessment of that. I'm going to be live on Mayo Media Network, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. It's myself and Brad Evans. We'll be doing a full report on all the latest injuries, all the different combinations of lineups you can make with these guys out, and the weather, and maybe some games to avoid. Just on the whole, if you can find games that are indoors, probably the best way to go, or at least on the West Coast this week, where it doesn't seem like it's going to be rainy or windy, which we cannot be said for the heartland of America, especially anywhere that's near a lake, whether it be Buffalo, Cincinnati, or Chicago. It's not looking great for some of these teams. Derek Carr at $5,500 is a great way to save cash, and Jimmy Garoppolo at $5,400. Like I mentioned, no weather concerns in that game. Seattle, the worst pass defense in the league. It's not going to be fun, but if you want to play Kendrick Bourne with him, you could play Ayuk or Kittle along with him as well. Bring it back with DK Metcalf. All of a sudden, you're looking good to go in a game that people want to get pieces of, but they want the Seattle side, the San Francisco side, much cheaper. And again, allows you access to the very top of each position if that's the way that you want to go. Defense-wise, you can play the Rams against 2 at 38. It's a bit pricey. The Chargers are right around there as well. The Saints are only 34. The Titans are only 3,000. It's tough to play the Titans if you're playing the Titans stack, but if you stay away from Ryan Tannehill and that passing offense, you can definitely pair up the Titans defense with Derrick Henry as a potential mini stack is the way you want to go. When I talk about mini stack with defenses, what you're relying on is the defense to get a takeaway, generate a short field, the running back to punch it in. One begets another, and you get fantasy points from both sides of the ball. That is the way I would look at it. Check out my cheat sheet up on DKPlaybook.com right now. And like I said, live 10 a.m. Eastern Time with Brad Evans on Mayo Media Network. You should all go subscribe to that channel right now. But until then, good luck in Week 8. I'll see you next time.